The Valdrin hunting cruiser, Crimson Talon, drifted through the debris field of what was once a human cargo vessel. Commander Ferris Awen stood at the viewport, her reflection ghost-like against the star-speckled void. The scanners had picked up a distress beacon 3 cycles ago, and protocol demanded investigation, even if it meant salvaging another species' wreckage. "Bioscanner readings, Lieutenant?" Ferris asked, her triple-jointed fingers drumming against the console. Lieutenant Corvus, a young Valdrin with still bright hunting marks on his carapace, studied his display with growing confusion. "Commander, the readings are unusual. 1 human life form detected in the cargo bay, but the system keeps flagging an error." "What kind of error?" "Classification error. The scanner reads the human, catalogs it as prey species per standard xenobiological database, but then—" He paused, mandibles clicking nervously. "It keeps rejecting its own classification. I've never seen this before." Ferris's secondary eyes narrowed. Humans were a recent addition to the galactic community, barely 2 of their generation since first contact. They were soft-skinned, slow-breeding, and possessed no natural weapons. The galaxy had classified them as prey species almost immediately. Despite their protests, it was simply biological fact encoded in every predator species hunting algorithms. "Run a diagnostic on the bioscanner," Ferris ordered. "In the meantime, prepare a boarding team. If there's a survivor, we're obligated to render aid under galactic convention." The boarding team moved through the wreckage with practiced efficiency. The human vessel had been struck by micrometeor showers, a tragic accident but not uncommon in this sector. Emergency bulkheads had sealed, but life support was failing. They found the human in a cargo bay that had been converted into a makeshift survival shelter. He was smaller than Ferris expected. Humans always seemed smaller than their reputation suggested. He wore a tattered jumpsuit and his dark hair was matted with blood from a head wound. When the Valdrin entered, he didn't cower. He didn't freeze like prey should. Instead, he stood, slowly, painfully, and assessed them with eyes that held something Ferris couldn't quite identify. "You here to help or finish the job?" The human asked in adequate Valdrin common tongue. "We respond to distress beacon," Ferris replied. "You are injured, come." The human, his identification tag read Marcus Chen, engineering specialist, limped toward them. As he passed the boarding team, every Valdrin's bioscanner chirped the same error message. "Classification error, not prey. Classification error, not prey." Ferris felt the hair along her spine ridge stand on end. It was instinctive, this reaction. Something in her hunter's brain was sending contradictory signals. This creature should be prey. Everything about its biology screamed prey. And yet, back aboard the Crimson Talon, the medical bay ran its own diagnostics on Marcus Chen. The human sat calmly on the examination platform while Dr. Thevrix worked, occasionally wincing when the doctor's instruments probed too deeply. "His physiology is exactly as documented," Dr. Thevrix reported to Ferris. "Fragile skeletal structure, minimal muscle density compared to equivalent mass predators, no natural weapons, no armor plating, no venom sacs. By every measurable metric, this is a prey species. Then why does every scanner in this ship flag him as a classification error?" Dr. Thevrix's head frills rippled, the Valdrin equivalent of a shrug. "Perhaps it's a software glitch in the new update." But Ferris knew better. The bioscanners didn't make mistakes. They analyzed threat levels, predator-prey dynamics, fight-or-flight responses. They had been refined over millennia of hunting across 1,000 worlds. She approached Marcus Chen directly. "Human, may I ask you questions?" "Shoot," he replied, then seemed to realize his word choice. "I mean, go ahead. Your species was classified as prey after first contact. Does this bother you?" Marcus was quiet for a moment. Then he laughed, a short, bitter sound. "Bother us?" "Commander, it insulted us. We're not prey. We've never been prey. But your biology, our biology, is the result of becoming the apex predator on a death world," Marcus interrupted, his voice hardening. "We don't have claws because we made knives. We don't have armor because we made shields. We don't have venom because we made weapons that could kill from 1,000 meters away. We didn't need evolution to make us dangerous, Commander. We made ourselves dangerous." Ferris felt that spine-tingling sensation again. "Your planet is not classified as a death world. It's Class 7, standard oxygen-nitrogen atmosphere, normal gravity. Standard by whose definition?" Marcus leaned forward and, despite herself, Ferris took a step back. Commander, my planet has land predators that weigh 3 tons and can run 50 kilometers per hour. It has ocean predators with 300 teeth arranged in multiple rows. It has microscopic organisms that can kill a human in hours. We have weather systems that can level cities, tectonic activity that can destroy entire regions. And humans survived all of it by being more stubborn, more adaptable, and more creative than anything evolution could throw at us. Adaptability is not the same as predation, isn't it? Marcus's eyes locked onto hers, and Ferris understood suddenly what her scanners had been trying to tell her. Commander, do you know what humans did when we found out we couldn't breathe in space? We built ships. When we discovered worlds we couldn't survive on. We built habitats. When we met species stronger, faster, and better armed than us, we built alliances. And when we absolutely have to, when we're backed into a corner with no other options. He paused, his voice dropping to barely above a whisper. We build weapons that make your hunting cruisers look like children's toys. The medical bay was silent except for the soft humming of equipment. Your species has been at peace with the galactic community, Ferris said carefully. Because we chose peace, Marcus replied. That's what your scanners don't understand. Prey doesn't choose. Prey reacts. But humans? We make choices. We decided to be part of your community, to follow your laws, to be... He gestured vaguely. Civilized. But that doesn't change what we are underneath. Ferris accessed her personal scanner, looking at the persistent error message. Classification error, not prey. The system had tried to classify humans as predators, but that wasn't right either. Humans weren't predators in the traditional sense. They were something else entirely. Something the galaxy's carefully categorized system of predator and prey couldn't account for. They were survivors who had turned survival into an art form. They were prey that had refused to be eaten, had climbed to the top of their world's food chain through sheer determination and ingenuity, and had carried that stubborn refusal to accept limitations with them to the stars. I will recommend to the Galactic Biological Council, Ferris said slowly, that human classification be revised. Marcus smiled, genuinely this time. Appreciate it, Commander. Though between you and me, I don't think we really need a classification. We know what we are, and what is that? Human, he said simply. It's enough. As Ferris left the medical bay, she glanced at her scanner one final time. The error message had changed. Where it once read classification error, not prey, it now displayed something new. Warning, classification insufficient. Recommend extreme caution. For the first time in her hunting career, Commander Ferris Awen agreed with a bioscanner's assessment without reservation.